Hi guys, hope you're all well. Welcome back to It's Cooking Good. Today I'm going to be cooking a really simple chicken dumpling soup. It's great because you make the dumplings ahead of time and the soup its actual self only takes 10 minutes to cook. So you can leave it on the hob and add the dumplings in as and when you need them. So great if the kids are out at a play day or if they're out at a club, whatever it may be, and it makes a great starter and main course. So let's have a look at the ingredients. For the dumplings, you're going to need a chicken breast, 200 grams of chicken breast. So this was actually one, it was a large one, which I've just cubed up. Don't worry about how this looks at the moment because it's all going to go in the food processor. Here is 100 grams of white bread, which I've just made into breadcrumbs. You're going to need a little bit of grated nutmeg. You're going to need an egg yolk and a whole egg and 100 millilitres of single cream. So that's for your dumplings or quenelles or whatever you want to call them. And then for your soup mixture, really basic. You're going to need a couple of stock cubes. If you want a stronger chicken flavour, you might want to add in a stock pot as well, or you could always add another stock cube. And if you're really fancy, buy a whole chicken, debone it, take the breast off, boil up the carcass and make your own stock. Even better if you've got the time. Here I've just got some chopped fresh parsley. This is one large carrot, which I've sliced really thinly on a mandolin, but do it by hand, absolutely fine. And then a punnet of mushrooms. These are chestnut mushrooms, use white mushrooms, whatever you've got, whatever's ready and available, whatever is the cheapest, because this will taste delicious. So let's start by prepping our quenelles. Let's get cooking. Okay, so I said these dumplings are going to be simple, and I wasn't lying to you. So we're going to put our chicken into our food processor. Go in with your breadcrumbs. Like so. So remember that was 100 grams of breadcrumbs and 200 grams of chicken. The egg yolk and whole egg, straight in. Our single cream. Again, that was 100 millilitres. I'll save a little bit back just in case. And then some of our nutmeg as well. So I like nutmeg. Again, if you don't like nutmeg, leave it out. That's absolutely fine. You could also flavour this with other stuff. If there's a herb or something that you particularly like, that you like in a chicken soup, but in their thyme would actually work particularly well with this. That's it. Move that out of the way. And then we just want a little bit of salt, so a good pinch of salt. As a matter of fact, probably a little bit more. There you go. And some white pepper, black pepper. There we go. Put your lid on, make sure it's switched on, and we're going to blitz it. And what you're looking is for that to come together like a sort of, like a paste almost. Which it is. Let me just check that. Yeah, that's looking good. I'm just going to add that last remainder, that last little bit of the cream. Like that. Again, if you think it looks too thick, you can always add a little bit more cream. Equally, if you are feeding more people, then by all means, up the quantities of all of this. Just double it up. And now it's starting to hold together. That's it, perfect. Just make sure all of that chicken's blended nicely. And that is it. Excellent. So move that out of the way. I'm just going to take this off here. We'll get rid of our food processor. Get that out of our way. And I'll just remove the blade. Just spoon it off. Don't want to waste any of that delicious dumpling mixture. That's it. And get rid of that. Okay. And then what you're going to need is just a tray. This is actually a non-stick tray, but I've just put a bit of grease proof on there. And what we're going to do is make, I think, what the French call quenelles. And I'm going to have a go anyway. Sometimes I just do this in like balls. But actually I quite like them in this. And you can make them as big or as small as you like. And I tend to sort of do a little mix of sizes because I think it adds quite a nice bit of interest in the dish. My son likes the bigger ones. I'll be honest, I do too. My daughter likes them a little bit smaller, and that's it. We're just gonna carry on doing that until we've used all the mix. You will find you probably get, I'd say maybe about 15 of these, 15, depending on the size, anywhere from 15 to 20. That's it. They don't have to be exact. I'm no professional. And there we go. What I'll do is I'll do the rest up and I'll come back to you in a second. Okay, so there we have it. Our quenelles are all ready. I've done a sort of variation on sizes so that, you know, everyone, if you like the bigger ones, you can have the bigger ones. Smaller, you can have those. I'm going to sit these in the fridge now for about half an hour just to firm them up a little bit. We ended up getting 24 out of that mix, which I don't think is too shabby at all. That's a good meal for us, and we'll serve it with some crusty bread as well. So I'm really looking forward to this, I have to be honest. Anyway, I'll see you shortly when we make up the soup. Okay, so I've got the pan on a medium heat. I'm just using like a regular sort of crock pot here. Use whatever pan you've got, just make sure it's enough to hold your liquid. I've filled this right up to the brim. This is our chicken stock. I'm using 1.5 litres of chicken stock. Well, plenty of stock, obviously. There's a few of us eating, well, 4 of us to be exact, but obviously adjust that quantity depending on how many people are eating. That's going to come up to the simmer, but in the meantime, we're still putting the carrots, and they're going to sit in there for about 8 minutes normally. Sometimes it may be a little bit quicker. What I'll do is I'll just put the lid on it. We'll leave it. Once that's done, we'll then add in our mushrooms. I'll see you shortly. Okay, so these have actually had 6 minutes. I just checked them and they're fine. Excuse the steam. And we're just now going to put our mushrooms in. Okay. Last one there. And I'm going to add a pinch of our chopped parsley. Okay. And just put the lid back on and cook those for a further 2 minutes. Okay, so the mushrooms have had their time. Just going to get rid of the lid now. We don't need that anymore. So basically this is your soup mix, okay? So if you weren't cooking it now like I am, you could keep this on the hob or with a lid on. You can use this up to two days or 3 days. It's not going to go off. Or just refrigerate it. You could container it up into portions or whatever you want to do, okay? And then you can just add the quenelles as and when you want them. So if you want it 1 portion or 2 portions or whatever, okay? But as I say, we're cooking them now. So I've just put some gloves on. We're going to drop the quenelles or dumplings into our mix. And I'm going to go in with all of them. Just get those all in. There's quite a bit of stuff in here, obviously, with the mushrooms and what have you. But the way to tell if these are cooked is they will rise to the top. So I will give it, obviously, a stir around in a second. And when those quenelles rise to the top, you know that they are cooked. Normally, it takes about 3 minutes. It's not a long process at all because you've got to remember, obviously, they're very small. And it's the bread that absorbs that stock and then forces the quenelles to the top. Oh, a nice big one there. Put my name down on that one. Okay, so just give that a little stir around. That's it. And already, look, you can see they're firming up. They're already changing colour. Perfect. Okay, so I'm going to put the lid back on that. We're going to cook that for about a further 3 minutes and then we'll be ready to give this a try. I cannot wait. Okay, so we are done. Let's have a look. Take the lid off at the finished product. And what you'll see is what I was talking about. See those little quenelles or dumplings, whatever you want to call them. See how they've risen to the top. We know they're done. Oh, it smells amazing. So let's just dish a little bit out. A little tester portion. Get myself a nice dumpling. Bit of the mushroom, a bit more of the juice. Okay. What I want to do, I think I've picked the smallest dumpling in there. let's just pull that dumpling out. I just want you to see what I'm talking about. You cut into that. If you can see, it's just like this airy pillow of chicken goodness. It's proper penicillin stuff. If you weren't feeling well, this is exactly what you'd want. Although I'd eat this at any time, and I'm sure you will. Anyway, I'm going to put those back in. Just wanted to show you that. I want to get a little bit of the sauce. Oh, look, and a bit of the mushroom on there as well. Let's give it a go. That is so good. So good. Hold on. I've got to have another one. Finish that. I only got a small one, so I'm going to finish it off. Right amount of seasoning in the soup. Doesn't need anything else. No salt, no pepper. Those stock cubes did the job. I'll let you into a little secret. Those little quenelles, you put those on a little baking tray, a few of them, as a little starter or a dinner or whatever, and grate some lovely Gruyere cheese over them, or cheddar, whatever cheese you've got, a little bit of bechamel and then some cheese. It makes a great dish. Shh, don't tell everyone else. I've done it before, they don't know, but it is good. Anyway, guys, I really appreciate you watching through to the very, very end. If you're new to the channel, you like the content, you might have clicked on it by accident, or you meant to, I don't know, but please do consider subscribing either by clicking on the watermark or hitting the subscribe button. It'd be much appreciated. If you've got a recipe you want me to cook, send it through. But look, all I've got left to say is I've got some eating to do. I'll see you next time, but it's cooking good.